welcome to the usual Friday show. Today we have two friends of mine here with me. We're going to be discussing random topics, and the friends that I have here with me is Keegan
Nice to be here again.
and Kyle.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you guys for being here. So today we're going to be talking about random topics that we could come up with that we're going to be discussing, our views on all of them, and what we have to think about certain topics. And yeah, so topic number one is obviously going to be the thing that took over our entire year, COVID-19, aka coronavirus. So, what are your views and what has it done, to you guys, and how has COVID-19 affected you guys so far in the year?
It's funny if I think back, right, to where we are now, and the time between now and the time that a friend of mine, he said that this coronavirus, it means nothing. It won't get here or anywhere because people or media have created it to create hysteria and for everyone to be afraid of something. And now, if I look at the present moment, coronavirus has hit us pretty hard. With socializing. I'm sorry. Um, we all need socializing. I mean, if you're isolated, what it is, you start to experience symptoms of going crazy. Uh, so just that it's really amazing to see how far we've come with this coronavirus. Also individually, in my opinion, it has also stopped me from doing a lot of things that I would have liked to do this year, especially on a social level. but but yeah, those are the things that just you look back at it and you think, wow, this is not so bad. Just like what Keegan said, like what Keegan said, it's not bad. The whole thing that happened to us wasn't bad. Some people came out of this much stronger than they would have even known. If if everything were to continue as normal, I don't think people would have realized as much as they did. I, for myself, realized a lot during this lockdown. So, like Keegan said, it's a positive thing. So I agree with that. It's just that if you think back, it was a lot, and it would be not bad, but it would ignore the fact that it had an effect on us. So yeah, a good effect and some bad effects, but the good is what matters.
Before I ask your opinion, just a quick thing on the individual thing. I feel like I made a COVID-19 video. This was like my first video. Um, I spoke about like how we should all be thankful for like what we have, and like even though we have a lot, I don't, wait, let me rephrase. um, we have a lot, and we have a lot to be thankful for. But it's like it's almost like because we have something being taken away from us, it's like having a huge effect on us. Like how we're not supposed to be this close to each other. We can't be in social gatherings and all this other things where it's like it changed a lot. And I feel like also with lockdown because of coronavirus, um, like everyone had to go through a whole personal change, or like had to go through this whole thing where it's like you had to be by yourself and focus on yourself and go through this whole thing, because I know I had to go through that. Wasn't fun. Often here and there we'll go through it again because we are still in lockdown. But hopefully level 2 will be upon us. I don't know, probably not. But yeah, Keegan.
Oh wow, then
Sorry. Thank you,
answering his
thank
own
you.
question.
I'm so sorry.
It's don't be sorry. I feel like you guys said, like Nicole said, I agree. I agree with everything the both of you just said.
Thank you, thank you. So you done now?
I feel like it has a big change, like especially socially, like feel like more entertainment wise, going out, sceneries and stuff, and also restaurants and parties and whatever.
What we must.
Yeah, but you learn to accept things for how they are, especially in this lockdown. You do realize a lot. And I feel like everybody needs that type of relaxation to themselves.
I feel like a lot of people they aren't alone a lot. So when they do find that time to be alone, when they're forced to be alone, they obviously need to realize a lot of things. They start to see that the mental chatter is so much. That's why they obviously need social stimulation, always, always on the go, always going here, always going there, never paying attention to your thoughts. And that's also one of the things that this lockdown inspired in a lot of people. I'm sure. I'm sure. Yes. I'm looking at. I'm sure.
So the next topic is, as a country, we have been facing two pandemics. Um, that is obviously, the coronavirus and the very well known men. Well, that was one of the signs I saw on the pictures and stuff because of the what is it, protest? Peaceful protest that happened yesterday for about the gender-based violence that is going on in our country right now. Very serious topic that I wanted to cover. Wanted to make a special video dedicated to just that, but couldn't get to it. But I would. So from three males, three South African males, we are to discuss the views and not views, but we're here to discuss gender-based violence in our country. And us as men, what do you think we can do to help? Because I feel like us, the three of us, like we close friends, and I feel like we never got into a situation where we had to protect one of our friends. Like I had to protect you because you did something wrong, or like you were gender-based violence, something like that. Nothing like that. Like I feel like we've obviously had to support each other in other cases and other things, but I mean like with something like that, I feel like I can say with like my whole chest, like I'm like, I don't need to be worried about my friends, being one of the bad guys, because like men are trash. So I know that I don't need to include myself and my friends in that. So with this whole thing going on right now, and like where we want to see a social change, what do you think can be done in our country to start making some sort of difference, or like slowly change it? Because this is like has been a thing for, we don't even know how long, probably long before us, before we were here, before, but like with that whole thing from last year. And I feel like I'm rambling on, but like, what are things you guys think you can be done?
So I just want to say that a lot of things are intrinsic. It starts with you. So if you want to see any change, it has to start with each individual. Um, Gender-based violence, it has been here for centuries on centuries. I think that way before civilizations even, there were inequalities between male and female. But what we can do is obviously to be aware. Um, Gender-based violence is a part of what we call an ideology. Those things are perpetuated throughout history, and it becomes so strong because everyone starts to believe it. Every society takes it in. And when I say that you are not equal to me, and everyone believes it, of course, everyone is going to stand with it. But you as an individual, you have to see that it's not virtue. It's not a virtue of a good person to obviously be part of such discrimination against a different gender because you're a certain gender.
Ginger.
Gender. So to be aware of those things and to obviously say no when you are in a situation where gender-based violence is occurring. Um, like I said in the beginning, it starts with you. It starts with the individual. So you choose to see or you choose not to see. You choose to speak. You choose not to speak.
Just like how us men, we should.
I feel like as individuals, we need to take a stand. Like if you see something happening or like something that's not right, you should say like what's going. Like just make it known. Look here, this isn't right. This is
It's
how
not cool.
supposed to be. You should let them know that, and you shouldn't just accept it and let that slide basically. Because then the other person, what are they learning? Nothing.
Turning a blind eye is.
We should take a stand.
Um. So the next topic, or like along with everything, is that as we were brought up, our childhoods, has a huge effect on who we become one day. Of course, um, but I feel like with like us, we've I don't know, we've I can say I enjoyed my childhood. I had a lot of fun. It was just before the social must have been all of us like just before the social media era and everything about that because I remember like just learning about BIS on the and like Blackberries, uh, and all that stuff and it's like learning this new thing and it's like whoa, what is this? This is weird. But like before that, it's like we didn't know anything else. You know, it was just like going outside, school, TV, and sleep. That's all we knew as children, you know? That was our childhood. And so I feel like because we Gen Z, we are part of this new generation where it's like we grew up with social media and think about other people. Like what do you think like could have been taken in by a certain individual like when they were a child and made them groom them into whatever they are? Do you think like childhoods, would you say I'm saying childhoods a lot. Like our childhoods, what effect did it have, would you say, on us as a person today?
There's one way to look at it, and that is the punishment and the rewards throughout childhood. Many times we see children now in the present, and we see a parent, we see a child, maybe for example in the shop, right? And the child sees a doll, and the child's like, "I want that doll." So either the mother or the father can buy that doll for the child. Oh, I said childhood for the child, and the child can be satisfied. But then we think about what if next time, oh, I might not have money. What if the child wants another doll? See, so then another choice of the parent would be to not, you know, buy the doll for the child, and then let's say the child starts crying. Now what do the parents do? The child is having an effect on the environment, right? So now for the parents to, you know, stop this embarrassment, they would obviously offer punishment. They would offer punishment to the child to show the child, no, this is not what you should be doing. And you know, throughout the childhood, a lot of things they either reinforce us negatively or positively. So if I, for example, hit the cup of the of the table, I know in my family I was spanked till near death. I it was a state close to the, you know, the yeah, the state of death, but not death because I'm still here today. So
I'm glad you survived.
I'm glad you came on. You came out to the other side. Well done, well done.
Yeah. Took a few beatings there.
Took one for the team. Thanks, man.
My childhood, I feel like it was very strange. It was really strange for me if I think back how I was as a child. Because I think I saw things I saw a lot of wonder in a lot of small things. You know what I mean? And as I grew older, I realized I lost touch of that. Especially like since social media became like a thing. It does like affect a lot of what people think and like how people perceive things or how other people perceive them. And over time, you just realize that, you know, it really doesn't matter when I feel like people should get more in a childlike mindset, you know, with an adult brain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have a more, what do you call it? A more
Open-minded view
you
on
know, a more calm thing because, like, as a child, you know, you don't have anxiety, you don't know anything. So it's like a beginner, basically, like starting fresh. I feel like yeah, that's what I learned as a child because I see a lot of things that I used to do, and you know, a lot of things that
you would find like joy in today.
yeah, like I dug a whole massive pit with tunnels and stuff, like till
As
my
a child,
as a child.
but like the fun.
My beans. And it was so fun. I'm not even joking.
Like, now there, I
Do that again.
he'd find true joy again. He hasn't felt it ever since. um, but like something that I feel like our generation has suffered from with like us growing up with social media and how we perceive things, like how you see us right now we'll never be actually how we are unless you become our friends. You know what I mean? Or like just meet us. Not even just our friends, just like seeing.
Unless you're inside my head.
Exactly. You're never gonna truly know how this person is. So whether you see it, someone on social media, someone on Instagram, someone on Facebook, someone wherever else, they can be looking bomb. They be like, "Ooh, who that? Who that man's? Who that girl?" No,
Chances are not
they
even.
not exactly. At the end of the day, we all use the toilet, and we are all human. So please don't. This is to whoever. If this is going towards you, someone with low self-esteem. Cough myself. This is just like something where it's like you need to know that like just stop worrying about what people think about you or how you are because 9 out of 10 times the people are focusing on themselves thinking about how they are dumb so they forgot about you
And it doesn't even matter it literally doesn't.
because but the other thing on childhoods is like you just like I know I can't change it, it's in the past, but thinking back you're like why did I do that and like you get upset because of doing that certain thing.
I feel like the only thing that I took a soccer ball. Like I fought a lot of people and like I did a lot of things as a child, but like the thing that scarred me the most, like I took when I was like 2, my mother told me I took this one fluffy like soccer ball, I just put it under there and we walked out the shop. And I felt guilt until I was like 13 years old. Yeah. That's the only thing.
And
But
they
now I passed it now.
and now there you see it's like it's another thing where it's like our childhood or like how we were raised. If I guess your parents didn't raise you like the way they did, you wouldn't have felt bad. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But yeah, like social media in this time is really weird. So it's like I don't like
It made,
so much. It's changed so much and makes everything feel weird.
it made people weird.
Me and Keegan were talking about it, I think a few weeks ago, about BBM and how strange that was. BIS,
That
just.
was so weird. Someone broadcasting, beasting a whole bunch of blue contacts. Like,
No! Oh no! Those broadcast messages,
unnecessary text messages that mean
and then you'd add your BBM number and all this stuff. Oh,
Your
our childhoods, we
songs
went
that
through
could
a lot there.
play, your playlist.
Oh no! And then like when people would be watching something and then just minding their business, unaware that everyone, your whole contact list can see what you work out with. Okay. Next topic. That is the next topic. Is music. What do you think? What effect do you think music had or has on us as the youth and our generation? Because I feel like with me, with a lot of things that I go through or things that I do throughout my day, music is what is like an essential. It's just like even if it's just like a lo-fi live stream, uh, beats to chill to, stuff like that. I feel like music has become such a way for people to escape the real world while just listening to a song.
Escape, more to like enjoy.
But I mean, like some people would like literally drown themselves in like sad songs while they sad,
Yeah.
and then like sob their eyes, they
Music has
sob.
a big effect on emotion.
Huge effect.
It does. And over time especially. And the lyrics also. Like what you feed yourself, you become.
And like you can attach like an emotional like whole thing to a song, and like the next time you hear it,
Imagine your whole playlist was just Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez, I'd hate that. That would make my ears bleed.
That would have you on the gutters just oh no, I didn't have a penny.
That's the personality you would end up with, because you were influenced by that whole playlist.
Who is what? Cardi B. Nah, Adele's kind of she's kind of a bop though.
She's sad.
But like I mean, there was that one song where
At least she's
she.
not Cardi B.
At least she's not Cardi B. At least she's not Cardi B. But yeah, what do you think music like? What effects does music have? Would you say?
I feel like during this time, um, our music isn't very tangible. The taste in music that we have isn't very tangible, because in my experience or in my individual experience, um, I'm not always sticking to the same genre of music. Like for example, this month I would cook up a playlist that sounds absolutely amazing to me. Every morning I wake up and jam to this playlist, the same 20 songs over and over. But no, 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 not that.
We are never ever. I don't know about you. Or Linkin Park or something. Oh my soul.
But yeah, so you into this playlist for like a whole month, and then the next month you're like, oh wait, I feel like I want to do something different, listen to something different. I feel like it's the mood as well, like Keegan said. So sometimes we feel sad and we listen to sad music. So this month I feel great. Let me listen to great music. So it's a type of thing like that. It's also the vibes. Vibes are very
All about the vibes.
important. Music and vibes like this.
Vibe chicks. um, the next topic, as once again, was like. Perfect, perfect. You know what, eh? Next topic is going to be about first high school experiences. I'll share mine. So this is a brand new, a whole new world. It's just like a whole new world. You're just coming in and like you have no idea what's going on. You don't know what to expect, and you're just going onto this new place that you know you're gonna have to be there for the next 5 years. But okay, I'm going. Just just seeing so much people, and I'm just like, what do I do? It's just like that. Just how scary that is, and it's just but like that, the best feelings when seeing someone from like your primary school, and it's just like,
I can speak to you.
hello there, how are you? Even though you saw them like literally the year before, but like, there's nothing better. But what like, let me rather ask, what were your worst? I wouldn't say this is my worst high school experience, but I'm going to ask you guys, what would you say was your worst high school experience?
Um, I feel like this is probably not my worst, but this is one I can think of right now, and I feel like it does go into the category of maybe the worst experiences. But I feel like it was the first few days of my high school career. We were in the toilet, a bunch of guys. Grade eights, we always like, you know, yeah. So, as grade eights, we're very energetic, and we're always in groups and stuff. And this one day, in the toilet, with Elsa's River High, I attended Elsa's River High School. Okay, so maybe this is probably like a confession tape because no one knows about this, not even the staff. I never
Oh no!
who it was, and they always wondered who did this, but I'm gonna tell you now. So our toilet by the mirrors, it had this square type of wall type of thing with tiles on it, right? And my curious mind is like, ooh, what if I can jump that wall? But not knowing that the tile is not, with or on the wall, but it's raising a bit above the wall. So I was like trying to take out my parkour moves. I'm like, guys, watch this. I jump, I grab the tile, I bring it down, and I'm in shock. I'm in so much awe. I'm like, what do I do now? and we just decided to leave. And then later on in the day, there was assembly, and the principal mentioned there was someone who broke it. I'm like, yo, that guy. I'm just
How dare he?
and all my friends are looking at me like, wow. And yeah, they replaced it, by the way. They never asked who it was. I never came forward, obviously. But I ended up being a secret. I ended up being a secret about that.
Yo, I kind of feel obligated to share a toilet story too now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I feel like maybe I should share. So there was this one day I wasn't feeling well, and I told my mom, I was like, "Mommy, can I stay home today?" And she's like, "Nah, you stayed home last week. You can't." And I'm like, those days though, like, "Mommy, I don't feel like." No, I know you're going to school still. I don't hear nothing. But so I went. But like I wasn't feeling good that whole day. My tummy was sore. And listen, please. And it's just, that was horrible. It was just that day I just didn't feel well. Nothing was going good that whole day. And then, just before the first bell rang, for us to go into class, my tummy starts getting like bad. And then I was like, I have to go to the toilet. And then my one friend was like, no, go to toilet. I'm like, huh? The staff toilet? No, you mad? I can't go there. And then he's like, okay, then just go into the toilet. And I'm like, no, I can't. And then like, so then after that, I just had to, as they say, knip. Um, so then I was like, okay, I can just make it to break. So we have 3 periods. We have 3 periods, and that's about 45 minutes on a normal day. And this is the first period, and I'm sitting in the class like this. My tummy is so sore, and I'm sitting right in front of the class, and I'm just looking at myself like, so, what can you do with this? Can I go to the toilet? And he's just looking at me, and he's like, wait. And I'm losing my mind at this time. And then he was like, okay, you can go. So I ran. And I got to the toilet, and number 2. But I was in the toilet for a while. And then a learner in my class decided to come into the toilet. And he comes in, and I hear the footsteps. And I'm telling you, it's not even a minute by the time he gets in. He's like, yo, busy banner. And I'm just quiet. I'm just like, it's like, Dane, are you here? I'm like, and I'm like, yes, I am. And he's like, is it jy wat so stink? I'm like, no, I don't know. Someone was just in here. He must have pooped. I don't know what's going on. And I just got up as soon as possible. And the worst thing was I asked the caretaker, I was like, hey, can I please get some toilet paper? And but he was doing something, and then and I'm just like, I knocked on the door, and I'm like, can I please get some toilet paper? And he's just facing his back, and he's just like, huh? What was they doing? Huh? Was I'm just like, this is a grade 8 boy, and I'm telling you, this is probably like first, second term. I'm fresh in high school here. I'm grade 8, dog. I'm grade 8. I'm fresh in high school. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, I'm not used to this. There's usually toilets in the bathroom with me. I'm not used to this, but I'm just like, okay. And then he's like, oh, what was they doing? I was like, I'm just, yes. And then he's like, and I was just, I didn't know how to feel. After that, I never used the toilet again at school. So, to anyone that's still in school, do not use the toilets, please. Don't. Especially now in Corona times. Now it's not the time. I'm so sorry for making a whole thing. Thank you for listening if you did.
Amazing. Am I still on the show?
You are. I'm so sorry. Welcome back to after the break.
Oh, amazing.
The ad break. So, what is your worst?
I feel like every day was my worst experience. Every day, I'm not even joking.
But you said you got into fights like almost every day, right?
A lot.
So what was okay,
With
what was like the worst, like this fight you were just like I hated this.
all of them. I feel like there were so many things I went through, so many stuff. So many.
So you can't pinpoint anything. You just the whole school
I'm just
experience.
saying, you guys should be lucky to have stories like that as yours.
Next topic is going to be about art. So that I'm going to include like everything. So views on, music, visual art, filming, movies, and what effect would you say that has on our generation right now? Because I feel like our generation has to be probably one of the most creative group, because like what they've done on like TikTok and all the trends and all those things, those are all things that were created by the youth, and it's things that entertain youth, because like memes, like all those types of things, like making something funny, if all those things, like what effect that actually has nothing to do with art, but kind of, not like, would you say? I don't know. Art is everything. Yeah. It's like what?
Just not what we talk
What is Earth without art?
about.
Eh. But yeah, like what would you say the effects like art has on our current, the youth of today? What would you say?
So, if I think about art, right, when you mention music, I feel like sometimes we forget that, or sometimes we think that music is the only way or the only thing that can influence us. Whereas art, right, visual stimulation, that can also have a very good or bad effect, on the person as well. Because what we see is what we perpetuate, what we see is what we try to model. If I, for example, see someone doing a certain thing and they're getting a reward for it, let's, for example, the things that the youth is creating today, such as the music videos. Let's take example music videos. Simple example. We try to model a lot of things. So if we see in this video this person is getting, a reward for a certain action, and then obviously we will try to have that that same reward, and therefore we try to model that same behavior. So what we see is also in fact how we act, also how that influences us. Besides music now, you know, and with movies as well, I feel like movies are a great form of art. Combined with the music elements and everything. When I look at movies, when I watch movies, I pay attention to the music a lot because the music is what gives me the feeling. Um, to be honest, I feel like Disney's music, you know, they have the best music with movies. It just gets. They don't get me started. Don't get me started. But yeah, just that as well. Just yeah, art is amazing. Wow.
You gotta love art, eh?
I feel like I feel like my desire to art got taken in like I think I was in grade 2 or something, and I saw this boy like drawing Dragon Ball Z pictures. And then from there, like I also used to start copying that. I did that till grade 4 or something, and I realized, oh, like I can actually do this really good. Like I can copy over the picture. And then from there, as I got in grade 8, I kind of really saw what like art was and stuff. And especially paintings and whatever. And then on social media also, like I feel like your Instagram feed does adapt to that. And like certain things you see, you can see meaning behind it. You can see effort. You can even see by the person that was drawing what they were feeling, like by how they, use that. And I feel like it's amazing to just see something and try and get your perspective. Just art is an expression of someone, and obviously you will see how that person is feeling behind what they have done. So I feel like that's really good. I actually want to start drawing or something again. We should do that. We should paint.
You should. But I love like art really is really beautiful in terms of when it comes to stuff like expressing how you're feeling. Um, and what's really cool, especially now in today's society, that it's not it's very frowned upon by the previous generations and especially like our parents and stuff like that. But being able to, you know, make money out of doing these types of things, being on YouTube, being a social media influencer, people do not view those as jobs. But as times go on, these are the types of norms that we have to get used to. So, like, just like art, people get paid by them doing art. Someone filming, someone being a, cinematographer is getting paid for the art that he's making. Just like with me, this is a form of art, This can be just having fun making a video about random topics, could just be something beautiful where it's like maybe the topic can be something about how I'm feeling and it can help me hearing different opinions. And then if you would like to share anything, leave a comment down below. But that is like that's a wonderful thing, that like a feature of YouTube where it's like you can have a discussion with the people that are viewing the video. So please, if you are liking the video, give a comment, please. Feel free, even if it's hate, you know. But yeah, I really love art. But then, so the next topic is going to be yeah, it's going to be movies, but like it's a subcategory to art. Um, the effects movies has had on us all throughout our lives, because I know that they must have been, or like art, like I said, art. Let's rather just stick to the art thing, where it's like a certain piece of art. Someone made something. Like I told you, like I want my job to be one day where I'm making something, putting it out in the world, and have people enjoy it. So like with any type of art piece, where it be like some painting that you saw and it's just like, oh, this moved me, or a song you heard and it's like, wow, this is beautiful. Like the what effects would like,
Plays with your emotions.
yes,
They do it in such a way
and
that
it,
it's
it
relatable.
can be like literally like movies, it can be YouTube videos, it can be music,
It
all the
can be
stuff.
something that you aim to be also, so it gives you a certain drive. You know what I mean?
So like all about like passion, you know, and then
It is.
with like
It gets you in the brain somewhere.
I feel like it's not always something that you can relate to. I feel like sometimes we are wowed by something that we see. It's not something we imagined, not something we could think of, but when we see it, we're like, oh wow, I could have never thought of seeing something like that. I could have never thought of experiencing something like that. For example, we in the cinema, we're seeing this amazing scene from this movie, and you could have never imagined something like that, but it's in game.
exactly.
So
Here's what I am at. I'm so sorry. No, you go.
The nerve. We're not gonna talk about that. But the point is, like movies, especially with movies, like there's so much aspects I feel like people don't even pay attention to. So like music, there's pacing, there's so much things. There's the cinematography, all of those things. Just because you need a movie to be fast paced, but not too fast paced. A movie that's nice to look at. Writing that's not bad, because I mean, like if it's more straightforward things, where it's like, let's say I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to all of you, and I'm like, I'm sad.
I'm sad too.
So like that's how you see bad, horrible writing, where it's like instead it can be something where more expressive. So where it's like I'm just coming to the group,
Especially cartoons, they can do it in a
and then
way
and I
that
love.
you never
I really
thought
want to make
could
a
happen. I
cartoon.
love SpongeBob also.
It's
SpongeBob is the
probably the
best,
most relatable,
yeah,
most memeified.
literally, it's like the other day I was watching. I'm just like, what is this?
Like
How
every
can I-
episode, there's just a meme.
It's just something beyond, and literally every picture you see is like I could have screenshot this said something.
And yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It's literally I feel like SpongeBob goes in the adult mind also. You can see it through a new perspective.
And one thing I feel like I love about SpongeBob is like how long it has made a way to, be with its audience. Because I feel like we grew up with it. Yeah, and it's like we would still enjoy it to this day. It's weird enough. Like maybe I won't watch the newer stuff, but I know I can
Like,
go
I
back
can
to the old
watch
stuff.
the newer stuff. I record some of
But
it.
I mean, like, it is such a good show the way, like, I know I can go back and I will enjoy an episode or two,
You can
At-
anytime.
because that's just the
So
type of
me
show.
also.
But then again,
The
nostalgia.
content is that good
It is.
and that creative.
Yeah. But I feel like us as the new generation, we really want to break boundaries when it comes to what has been done before. But when it comes to media, that's very difficult to do, you know? Like, because knowing that so much has been done, you start to think to yourself, you're like, what can I do different? What am I going to do? What can I bring to the table? Because, like, stuff like that is very, can have an effect on us in many ways, just like how I feel like I'm going off topic now, but I feel like social media has done a lot to our youth as well, good and bad. Just like how with someone that loves drawing, someone that loves making music, and start a whole, career off of social media, and then there can be the bad things where people view, gets the bad
It
content and
depends
makes
if you
them.
stand out. I feel like people that are good usually stand out. Maybe not in a certain way that people are bad. It's more of like I feel like it's who you know more than what you know. But if you can know enough, you can get better than somebody.
But I feel like wouldn't it be way more cooler if you got recognized for your talent
For your own,
and not like through anyone else.
that's when you know you got it. Because if it's through someone, it's not really real. It's not.
True, true, true. What are your thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Um, no, I agree with you guys. Definitely. When it's through someone else, I feel like it's not gonna last long either because then it's not really that special. I mean, these days you know that you really need to have something special to be able to stand out, and we know that with the example singers, right? A friend of mine, Bronwyn, she always says that she can tell the difference between the singers' voices. And recently, or when she said that, I was like, it's true because Beyonce has a very distinctive voice from, let's say, Selena Gomez. Yeah, yeah.
I sometimes get completely confused between the two. Yeah.
Yeah, and that too, right? It has to be that special for it to stand out and obviously make its way into history even, you know. So yeah, very important that you have something special and something that screams you, that screams Dane, that screams Kyle, something
But
that can
there
be
should
built on.
always be a sense of confidence. You know what I mean?
Passion.
And something that doesn't deteriorate. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, 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 yep,
Because
yep.
you're gonna have to keep up that positive talk, keep up that all that things to actually get somewhere and to see that you can actually stand out. And everybody isn't always right. Nobody's actually right. You actually right if you think it's right, but it depends on how you think.
So before, guys, this is going to be the last topic. So before we go, just a quick rundown. um, so far we are currently it's July now. So we are 6 months into 2020. It's been a long road. We've been through a bunch already in 2020 alone. But I just want to share.
Okay.
A lot of people can say that 2020 is horrible throughout the year.
It was the most recognized,
But
most memorable.
I just want to share that the three of us, 2020, started horrible. So bad. So bad. So bad. It was like,
I feel like it was half good.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like as soon as 2019 ended, it was like that's where the good stayed, and then it's like some good like went on into 2020, but then just
Lost its course.
lost it as soon as like things started to derail. So basically, the point is that our 2020s did not start out the greatest, but we're still here. But how do you think would you say that set your course for the rest of your 2020? Or would you say that like that was just more of a lesson for the time and
I feel like 2020 had to happen. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like it was that bad. I mean, I don't feel like it can get worse because, I won't let it get worse. It can get worse environmentally and around, but why would that affect you? You know?
I mean sometimes it can.
Yeah, but like, why should you let outside factors affect you? You know what I mean? What happened, happened. You know what's gonna happen is gonna happen, but like, what's now is now. You know what
Truth.
I'm saying? So I feel like 2020 has been a good year. It's the one that I remember most out of literally all of them. Maybe it's only 6 months in and I'm living it now, but still, I feel like it's gonna be the most memorable year.
100%. Like how is a brand new decade gonna start like this?
Till about halfway, it's just like, bruh, do I forget anything? Like the other years, I have gaps, but like, yo, it just keep happening.
It's just a new thing each month. Like yo,
Um, to me, I don't think any of us could have expected that, even in the events of our experiences. I did not expect anything like this to happen. But I feel like sometimes we try to add storylines to some things, and maybe 2020 isn't such a bad year. I mean, if we think that everything is going to be perfect every year of our lives, then obviously we would say, oh, 2020 is just crazy and bad. Um, excluding all the factors that we have now in the present with, everything, coronavirus and so on. I just feel like, we should all live in the moment and just see what happens. Maybe 2020 isn't even the worst year.
Maybe it's even the best.
Exactly.
For the decade.
But
2020's been hitting me way too hard.
But in conclusion, yeah, just I feel like we had a lot of expectations for what 2020 would have, and just because it didn't meet that, I feel like we're really upset. But hey, we're still here and we're still kicking it on. Yes.
But I feel like I think for me, since 2013, the best year ever, by the way. I don't know. Yeah, for me, 2013 was probably the best. 2013 and 2016 was the best years for me personally. 2020, I feel.
No, Dane, stop it.
I think no, I'm not. No, no, no. Listen. Unpopular opinion. Originally, throughout everything, where it was just like this thing happened, and it's like, okay, wow. Then it's like this thing happened, and like, okay, wow. Then it's like each thing, and it's just like,
But I feel like we're
Like,
finally
please stop.
getting closer
Like-
as people, and we're actually getting somewhere.
yeah. I mean, it's slowing down the more like.
Getting somewhere. I feel like the bad has to happen for good to come.
But like as I was saying, is that after a while, it's like you just learn that you just like. I think I might be unnecessary. Like even though this might be a really horrible thing, but I need to, just stick to my guns, do whatever I need to do. Don't let this thing overtake you. Do you know what I mean?
I don't feel like anything you did was unnecessary.
Me specifically?
Nah, not just you, but like anything.
Anyone.
I also do a lot of things where I'm like, oh my word. But it's just
Yeah, but I mean, like just like the obstacles we had to go through, it was a lot. But 2020, I feel like was a good year so far. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I would love to have you guys on the show more often. But as usual, if you made it to this point, thank you so much. You are awesome. You are better than anyone else in this world. If you did like the content, please hit the subscribe button. And then if you would like to get a notification for every time we post a brand new video, click that little bell icon, and then you'll get a notification for every time we post a brand new video, because we post a video with me every single Friday, hence the name, The Usual Friday Show. Yeah, but any topics you guys would like us to cover, anything you'd like to say, you'd like to make fun of me, please leave that in the comments down below, because I would actually really laugh, even though it would hit me, but I'll be like, okay, it's kind of funny. So please, let's start a discussion, and then please follow me on my Instagrams, on the Instagram, Felicia the Goffel, and then Dane the Goffel on Twitter. Any shout-outs you'd like to make? Any Instagrams? Anybody? Family?
Nah, just follow me. I'm like Keegan Kluter. I won't follow back though. But you can try.
Maybe.
I just want to say once again, thank you for having me. I'm Carl Gertzer.
And good night. Thank you guys for watching The Usual Friday Show. I'll see you guys next week. Please stay safe, sanitize, do whatever you need. Social distance. There we go.
Amazing.
To the outro.
Goodbye, guys.
We love you. Mwah.